When we talk about the interference of the Kolo cabal in the US, in UK, in Europe, even in the global north as a whole, are we trying to make excuse for our own leaders? Is that what we're doing? Are we saying that we are excusing our own leaders from blame? Is that what you think we are doing? I see many of you mistake this statement to mean that we should not blame our own politicians or our own leaders. And by the way, not only politicians deserve the blame. Political leaders deserve it, traditional leaders deserve it, religious leaders deserve it, entertainment leaders deserve it, our business leaders deserve it, educational leaders deserve it, media leaders deserve it. They all deserve it. By all means, full speed ahead, fire on with your blame. Blame them. What we are saying and what people need to understand is that blaming our own leaders alone and stopping there is only 50% of the solution. In fact, not up to 50%. Because just blaming the leaders without taking action reduces that from 50% to 25%. We get no solution. Now, blaming our leaders alone is half of the solution. In fact, it is treating the symptoms while the disease is left untouched. So what are we trying to do? We are saying two things. One, blame our leaders to your heart's content, to your heart's satisfaction. Blame them. But know that that is only treating the symptoms. So if you want to take care of the disease, look at the people that enabled our leaders to do what they did. Those that colluded with them to do what they did, that enabled them to carry out the rubbish policies they are carrying out. Look at those people. They may be hiding behind the scenes, but their actions speak louder than their words. So we are saying blame them also. In fact, the second reason why we talk about all these foreign interference things is because we as Nigerians, we must understand how the Kolo cabal operates in Nigeria, in Africa. If we do not understand how these people interfere, we can never understand how to counter. If we focused only on our leaders, we'll be making a big mistake in thinking we will get anything different in terms of result from what we have been getting before. Have you ever wondered why almighty America regularly complains of Russian interference, even of Canadian interference, European interference? The same thing, almighty Russia complains of American interference. The same thing, UK, Europe, they complain of foreign interference. These are powerful countries. If foreign interference does not contribute to the problems of a country, why do you think that these powerful countries regularly talk about it? If a whole America can be complaining and saying, oh, blame Russia, oh, blame Europe, does that not tell you something? That it is possible that even the same America or UK or Europe or even Russia or China may also be interfering in Nigeria's affairs. This is why we talk about foreign interference. It is not to excuse the decision and the failures of our own leaders. No. And if we do not understand how these people operate, we will not be able to tackle it. All this running around that we are doing, we're just chasing after the symptoms. Calling for protests, doing all of these, allowing us to be polarized, divided along religious lines, ethnic lines, distracted by entertainment, distracted by business, all of these things that we're doing is because we have not understood how these Kolo Cabal are responsible for the problems that you and I are facing today. All the insecurity problem, all the poverty problem, all the hunger problem, all the unemployment problem, the lack of jobs, the suffering. The Kolo Cabal is responsible, even more responsible than our local leaders. And we need to understand it. This is why we scream the way we scream. Blame our local leaders, but do not forget the activities of these foreigners. How are they doing it? If we understood how they do it, it will help us. So the question is, how do they do it? Since we are saying we need to understand, how do they do it? I'll explain. We talked about, and it's not me now, there are many videos of Europeans, of Americans, who do not agree with the activities of these Kolo Cabals that are out there on YouTube, on Facebook, that expose the corruption of this Kolo Cabal. The Kolo Cabal is an international cabal. And from such videos and from such books, you can glean the information, the evidence is there. The evidence plenty, the evidence choke. How they interfere in our activities. It proves how they are responsible for our problems. We are taking our time to do these kinds of videos because we need to free the mind of Nigerians and indeed Africans. Our minds have been locked in a bottle and covered. We need to break that bottle, free the minds of Nigerians. It is psychological warfare, psychological operation. This is more dangerous than juju as you know it. And that is why it is critical. If we're going to get any result that is different from what we have been getting in terms of bad leadership, it is critical that we understand how these Kolo Cabal, this elite group of people in the US-led West or the US-led global North, that includes US, Canada, Europe, UK, Russia, China, India. We need to understand how they operate. So how do they operate? If you listen to Nicholas Howard, if you listen to John Perkins, the author of the book Confessions of an Economic Hitman, if you listen to Meshema, if you listen to, there are so many of them, and you read some of these documents on WikiLeaks, then you will understand that all these foreign NGOs operating in Nigeria, providing funding, they are being used to destabilize your country. They are being used to drive a narrative to poison your thoughts, to shape your thoughts. They are being used. In fact, they go beyond that. They use the same NGO to fund terrorism, to destabilize your country. When we know this, we'll understand how these foreign agencies also fund corrupt political candidates. So they force corrupt leaders on us because they know that the corruption of those corrupt leaders can be used to blackmail those leaders into enacting policies that will help them, the Kolo cabal, achieve their goals. And their goals are three. One, they want access to the resources of Nigeria or Africa. They want it. If that was the only thing they wanted, it would have not been a problem because we could easily share with them, and sell to them. But no. They also, number two, do not want us, Nigerians, to benefit from our own natural and mineral resources. They don't. Then the third one, that is the most dangerous one. They want we, Nigerians and Africans, to remain dependent on them, on the global north, on the powerful countries, for goods and services that they produce using our own mineral and natural resources that they have exploited and extracted from us. These are their three objectives. And if you follow every of their action that they carry out through these foreign aids and foreign donor companies, corporations, you will see these three objectives there clearly. That is one. They use aid. Many people don't know that the reason why aid is being pushed by these people, by this Kolo cabal, is not because they love Nigeria. No. It is because aid is used as an ingredient to create corruption. And then corruption is now used as an ingredient to create so many other things that will help them achieve these goals, to force Nigerian on us. And one thing they target is to destroy respect for the rule of law. Destroy respect for due process. Because if there was rule of law and respect for due process, Nigerians will be able to gather and push out the corrupt leaders that they, the Kolo cabal, forced on us. It's important that we kick these people out. This is why we talk about foreign interference. This is why we talk about the role of the UK, the role of the US in the affairs of Nigeria, how they instigated the civil war. Many don't see it. They think it's about tribe. They think it's about religion. No, it is not. Yes, our leaders back then allowed themselves to be fooled by these same Kolo cabal. They were fooled on both sides. On both sides. If you're still pushing ethnic and tribal sentiments, you're pushing religious sentiments in this day and age, you don't understand how the Kolo cabal works, the international cabal of a group of people in the US-led West. You do not understand it. And I challenge you. For those of you who feel that the book IBB launched contains some truth that cannot be forgotten, because I've seen that argument in the comments. Oh, IBB revealed some truth. Are we supposed to forget it? What truth did IBB reveal in his book? That Igbos are not the responsible for the coup of January 1966, or that it was not an Igbo coup? And that's some truth that is supposed to make sense or that has any meaning now? All we need now is to push for respect for the rule of law. Babangida was one of the northern soldiers that was brainwashed by the same foreign media, funded by this same Kolo cabal, to drive and push the narrative that it was an Igbo coup. He was one of the people that believed it. And it was on the basis of that, it was an Igbo coup that the northern officers ganged up against the Igbos in the July coup. And in any case, the coup has come and gone. The people who believed it was an Igbo coup have taken action and carried out an anti-Igbo coup. So why would it be something of such a big deal that if Babangida comes to say it now? Of what effect is that? If not to just fool and deceive Nigerians and distract us from focusing on the real cause, the Kolo cabal. Our leaders were used. Babangida was used. They were all used. If we do not understand this, the problem of Nigeria will continue. They were all used, just like they are also being used now. Look at the actions of Tinubu and tell me if it does not help the three objectives of the Kolo cabal, ably represented by the IMF, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization. Look at the policies of Tinubu across board. Look at the budget of 2025 compared to the budget of 2024 and tell me if that is not a budget that helps the Kolo cabal to achieve their goals. Tell me. So when we say foreign interference, the activities, blame UK, we're not asking you not to blame Nigerian leaders. It's two sides of a coin. Do both. Two hands of the same person. Do both. Blame Nigerian leaders, yes, but understand how the Kolo cabal is operating so that we can tweak our leadership selection process. They need to go back to the leadership selection process. We will easily expose leaders that do not have the interest of Nigeria at heart if we understand the operations of this Kolo cabal. And for those of you still saying, oh, no, forget Kolo cabal, I challenge you to explain to me, if you know, how the Kolo cabal operates in Nigeria. If you know it and you are still pushing this your narrative, I won't argue with you anymore. I won't. The correction is in understanding. And after we understand and we trace it, we'll see that we need to level the political playing field. At the end of the day, we need political parties where nomination forms are free so that we can open the door to all Nigerians without disenfranchising any. That is how it is everywhere else, US, UK, everywhere. Why not in Nigeria? Why will nomination form for office of the president be 100 million? When the minimum wage annually is 840,000. And then you have 99.4% of Nigerians having less than 500,000 naira in their account in 2025. That means automatically you have disenfranchised 99.4% of Nigerians from participating in the election process. This is what we're saying, that you have to open up the political playing field and level it by reducing the nomination cost or nomination fee for nomination forms or expression of interest forms to 0 or at the maximum below 50% of the minimum wage, which is 500,000. Once we have political parties implement these reforms, there's no need for any new political party. But the truth is, you tell me, is there a political party in Nigeria today that operates this reform? If there is, tell me, I will join the party. I will stop talking about forming a new party. The truth, the bitter truth is, there is none. And if there is none, we can create it. We have the power. It's just that we're not using that power. And I'm calling on you to join us to use that power. Let us create a level playing field. Let us form the Abundance Party. Join us. There's an account in the description. We need funds to do this. The people who need to hear this message, they're not this social media. They not get money for data. Even the ones we get, they not they watch this kind of video. They rather watch music, comedy, skits, here and there, entertainment videos, you know. They will not. So we need to go out, we need to reach out to these people. This is not the time to unnecessarily blame Nigerians. Even in the Bible it says, the people will not hear the truth. The truth is good. The truth is for the benefit of the people. But the people will not hear it unless there is somebody to go and tell them. And even when the person tells them the first time, they may not hear it. Fake comment by hearing and hearing and hearing. It will appear as though people are selling their future because they are trapped. Psychological warfare is being used on them, and they are trapped with weaponized poverty. It is for us to go out there to tell them this is wrong. If they don't hear the first time, we tell them again. They don't hear the second time, we keep telling them until they hear it. And we need resources to do that. So 1,000 naira is what we are asking from you. Contribute it. Pay it on the account in the description. It will help us to register this political party, and it will help us to push volunteers out there into the field to talk to people. This is just one of the reasons why we need this political party. There are plenty more, and we will discuss them in the next video.